Hello and welcome to a very special live stream on the Mirror Gaming YouTube channel. It is the EAFC 24 Career Mode Deep Dive Day. Happy day for everyone, fans of Career Mode in EAFC and FIFA. Joining me to talk about Career Mode, what we can expect from this deep dive, and some of the features you might have missed as well that they're going to be revealing today that we've already talked about before. Is joining me today is Lewis to talk about all that. Lewis, you are resident EAFC 24 expert. Thank you so much for joining me today. What are we expecting from this deep dive?
Well, we're expecting a whole new load of features pretty much. They've really bigged up career mode at the launch event a few weeks ago in Amsterdam. And, I feel like Ultimate Team's obviously the biggest game mode, but career mode has such a loyal fan base. And it's one of those modes which is on the verge of being like up there of Ultimate Team. I think it just needs that little bit more of a push from EA. So, based on what they've released so far in announcement trailers and stuff and little cutscenes, it's looking like it's going to be a promising year for career mode. So I'm very excited myself. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, me too. I think it's a mode that's needed, like an injection of something new for a number of
Yeah,
years.
definitely.
So it's only about time that we get some proper updates. You mentioned the launch event. Of course, you went to in Amsterdam. You attended it. You got to talk to the developers and about different modes. What did you hear about career mode at the launch event that got you excited for the mode in the new game?
Well, they're introducing a new system in career mode, in manager career mode, called tactical visions. This is something that really excited me. It's pretty much where, rather than using the basic custom tactics you currently get in team management to use for your squad, you now get given a choice of 7 tactical visions. And you can also now hire coaches in a similar sort of market that they have with the scouts. It's now a coach
Right. Okay.
market where
Yeah.
you can pay and bring coaches to your club that help suit your vision. So say you want to play, gegenpressing football like the Jurgen Klopp does for Liverpool, you can select that system. Your players can train to suit the system and get familiar with it, and you can have the right coaches in to make it as effective as possible. And I think it just adds a bit more realism to the game because, if a manager in real life was playing Park the Bus one week and then Tiki Taka the next week, all those players aren't going to seamlessly transition to that new system and play just as well. It's going to take time, and I think this is a factor which is really impressive. They also mentioned about agents coming to the player career mode, which I think is really important because we've seen the last few years, especially how important and how big agents have become in actual football. They've just become this massive thing now. So it's about time we've seen that, and a whole load, cutscenes and graphics, which look pretty cool as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, the live stream premieres in 8 minutes, so we'll be watching it and reacting to it live. See if there's any surprises. We've already got a chat comment. Rocking Games Kid, bring back Alex Hunter. Will he be coming back, Lewis? Can you confirm or deny?
I can confirm he will not be coming back. I mean, we get this comment all the time. Whenever we go at anything EAFC, we get bring back Alex Hunter. And again, I think that's something that could definitely work in like a player career mode. I think I'd love to see something similar brought back.
Yeah.
I think, again, in theory, the idea of the Alex Hunter sort of journey was fantastic, but in practice, it just didn't work properly. I think the EA didn't really do enough with it. So yeah, I'd love to see an Alex Hunter thing brought back, but sadly not in the AFC 24.
Absolutely. Obviously we've covered career mode, or you've covered career mode for us, mirror.co.uk/gaming, all around career mode and clubs and everything, obviously, because you're at the event as well and you got to speak to the developers directly about this. What new things are you going to be looking for that you didn't get a chance to see at the launch event? Is there anything that you're keeping a particular eye on that you might not have seen at the launch event?
Yeah, I think something which wasn't mentioned was sort of like the youth players and training. It wasn't mentioned in lots of detail. Something that I've wished for, I wrote this in my wish list for career mode before the launch event, was like an academy system where it could just be like, your team that you're controlling, you have like an academy team with actual real academy players. The rest of the teams in the other leagues can be all AI and stuff, but it just a way for you to use your youth players properly instead of just sending them on loan 6 seasons in a row and then just having them just not improving rating. It just was a bit pointless and it's underdeveloped right now, the whole youth system. So
Yeah.
I'm really hoping we see something on that, but
Yeah.
I do doubt it. I wish we could, and a
Yeah.
bit more into the actual sort of the gameplay as a manager. So they did mention there'll be new camera angles and new ways to watch the game. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan right now of the quick sims and the simulating graphic in career mode. So
Mm.
I'd like to see a bit more detail on that, sort of how much customization and control you get to choose how you watch the game.
Yeah.
I think those two are some really, really big things I'm looking forward to seeing.
Cool. Well, we'll see in 6 minutes' time when it premieres. We've got a couple more comments. Scott is mentioning Goku. Hi, Scott. Thanks so much for watching. Doubt the Goku collab will be live in the AFC, but you never say never. Rocking Games Kid says as well, why do sports games in general drop the ball, pun intended? Nice. So much in their career modes. And what was the best career mode in a sports game? I think I can answer that because it doesn't bring as much money as the other modes.
Yep.
That is pretty much one of the bigger reasons is
Yeah.
because it doesn't financially. It's easier to concentrate on the modes where you're going to make more money from it. Best career mode in a sports game. What do you think?
I think NBA 2K do career mode really well. They're sort of my
Yeah,
player.
yeah,
I've not played too much of it, but I have tinkered in it, and the few
yeah,
times I have played it, that's the one mode that I've ended up playing the most of.
yeah,
I think it's just it's more the off the court stuff they have.
yeah,
It's more like you are controlling a player and his life rather than just you're playing as someone in a game. I
yeah,
think I really like that aspect to it, and that's something people have pushed for a while. I think last year they introduced like you can actually now spend your wages in career mode in FIFA, but all you could buy was like tattoos and stuff, which
yeah,
it's very basic customization. I
yeah.
wish there was a way where you could use your wages to make life decisions, and those life decisions impact how you play a bit more.
Mm,
But yeah, like you said, I think the reason it's always never been as successful as those like Ultimate Team is because there's no in-game purchases. So why would EA put all their time and effort into a mode that gets them nothing in return?
yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple more comments. Scott says the best career mode in a sports game is SmackDown versus Raw 2006 or 2007. That's a great shout. Wrestling games have amazing like career modes where you can obviously make your own wrestler and stuff and have your own moves and things. I think that's probably one of the best ones. Have you ever dabbled in any of those?
No, no, I
No,
haven't. But
no.
I mean, it's been in the comments. People seem to be raving about it, so
Yeah,
maybe it's worth a try.
yeah, absolutely. I think what one thing I would say is the F1 games are pretty good.
Okay,
F1 games are
yeah,
pretty good. Because you have you can start like a lower team and you build yourself up and you only move to a bigger team and then you can develop the car in a certain way to your driving style and then there's like driver moves around you so you get the different drivers moving around and I think it's restricted to like 5 years, which is one of the biggest downsides of that. But
yeah.
apart from that, what's the career mode restricted to in FIFA? Is it a set amount of time?
I don't think I've never got far enough into a
Never
career mode
completed it.
to. I've never completed a career mode. No,
Yeah,
I always end up going back to Ultimate Team every now and then. But
yeah, yeah,
I always find myself playing career mode towards. When I first get the game, I'll play career mode because it's like you want to see what's new.
yeah,
But then the last few years, especially, there's not much that's new, so you get a bit
yeah,
bored of it, and then I'll end up going back to it in that that awkward period between the last FIFA game and well this year will be between now really and
yeah,
EAFC 24 and Ultimate Team's a bit dead, not much is happening. Oh, I'll go try out career mode again.
yeah,
I'd assume it'd be till you're about maybe 35, 40. It'd be
yeah,
cool if there was a way where if you were in like a player career mode, once you hit like the retirement age, you could just transition into a manager mode.
yeah,
That would be quite a cool thing to do. But
yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a. I was just thinking. Rocking Games Kids hit something in my brain. Imagine if it was like a fully. I know because I know that you have top spin and things like that. But like, imagine like a tennis game that was around career mode. I think that would be amazing. I don't know if that's been done already, but that just seems like something that could be really good.
Yeah. You feel like
Um,
anything like any sport where it's individual, like
yeah,
that would be a really
100%.
good way to
Yeah.
yeah.
Rocking Games Kid also says surely Football Manager has the best career mode, right? That doesn't. Football Manager that's the game. It's not a mode for me. That's not a career mode. That's an entire game for me. That doesn't really count. But just on that, I'm glad you brought Football Manager because I think FIFA players aren't looking for a Football Manager experience because it's going to be too technical, right? It's going to be too deep. But we just want something more than this will do. That's the thing. It needs to be something a bit more comprehensive. Is what we're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing with Football Manager. I feel like with it's like you graduate FIFA career mode to go to Football
Yeah.
Manager career mode, isn't it? But
Yeah.
no, I think that's the one thing you're missing with Football Manager is the gameplay side of it, and I think that's why FIFA or EAFC career mode now will be such more appealing, a bit more appealing than Football Manager is for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Punch Out for the Wii and Mario Tennis, apparently, Scott says that you can already do that. So maybe they're the games that I'm going to go next. But we haven't got time to talk about that because the premiere of... Why can I not say that word today? The premiere. The premiere. That's my Peaky Blinders accent. For the EAFC 24 official career mode deep dive, we'll be looking at player career mode and manager career mode in EAFC. Is about to get underway very shortly, under a minute to go. We're going to be reacting to it live. So thank you to everyone who's watching. Just excited to see more about what we can expect in career mode. So yeah, I'm excited. Even though I know you were at the event and you already talked about it, I'm excited to see what potentially they're going to show us.
These deep dives, obviously, it's in the name. It goes deeper into it. It tells you more about it. So I think I just really saw the tip of the iceberg with a lot of these features. So I'm excited to see, especially the agents thing. I think player career mode is probably out of the two modes what I've played the least. But and that's because I get a bit bored after a while because you start off quite low and it's like you leave it to the algorithm to decide what happens.
Yeah.
So with the idea that agents this year can control your outcome in your career is really appealing.
Absolutely. So we've got a 2-minute countdown. If anyone can tell us if the audio's okay, I'll put it slightly lower than usual. But if you want me to turn it up, let me know. If we're talking over it, please let me know what the audio is like. But yeah, a minute to have to go till we see the EAFC career mode deep dive. We're going to be back to it live. Just before we get started, there was quite a bit of speculation that EAFC 24 might include an online career mode. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case for this year.
No.
But do you think that's the way that this is sort of going? That's the next step for EA, do you think, after this year?
Maybe. I mean, again, that's another way where they could then implement in-game purchases, which you would assume would push them to do more with it. But I personally don't really understand how well it would work.
There's a lot of clamoring for it. The community seems to be really pushing for it.
It's really wanted, and it's just logistically, I don't know how well it would work personally. How would you go about it? Do you play a random person playing as another team? Like, because if you're controlling Manchester City and you come up against Luton, if you're playing against a ridiculously good player who's Luton, you might end up losing that game 3-4-0, and it's down to skill-based issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting to see how that would work, but I think the appeal's there, so it's worth a try.
You might get a lot more rage if it's an online mode, don't you? That's the thing. But we are 15 seconds away from the deep dive. We expect how long are we expecting this to be? Just to give everyone an idea of how long.
I think it's about 7 minutes long. I want to guess
7 minutes. Okay,
7 minutes. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
Here we go. This is the EAFC 24 career mode deep dive.
Welcome back to our EA Sports FC 24 Deep Dive series. I'm Sheldon, and today I'm joined by Alex and Pete from our EA dev team to talk about everything that's new in manager and player career.
Ooh,
how are we feeling?
new cutscenes already.
Very, very excited.
Some new cutscenes already.
Yeah, lots of
I'm
exciting
liking the tunnel stuff.
I know that control
Ballon
is
d'Or.
a big theme this
Here we go,
year,
yeah.
and there are so many changes in
There's
this
a gym?
separating manager career and player career. So
Not on
let's
the
start
pitch,
with manager career. How are people able to lead their club and tactics in new ways
there's a
in FC 24?
manager.
That's the new
hard.
camera angle. Yeah.
You find a manager who has been given the power to shape the tactical
All the
styles
managers are
and bring
licensed.
his own vision to life. And that's how manager career feels in FC 24 as
Sean
well.
Dyche got the shoulders going.
Ancelotti and Klopp and all the real
Ancelotti at Fulham. Did you see that?
What they're trying to deliver across their club. We've taken things like partner bus, gegenpressing, and giving you the chance to develop them.
Did you just say gegenpressing? I think it means
Chosen that
gegenpressing.
style. How will managers shape it and make it their own?
The best managers in the
I know it's a
world
bit blurry,
rely
but
on a
it will
coaching
be.
staff to bring
I'll
their
put it up
tactics.
slightly. Let's
You
see
the
if we
chance
can-
to
there we
develop
go.
them with your team in your own style.
And once you've chosen that style, how will managers shape
Finish,
it and
Jota.
make it their own?
Best managers in the world rely on a coaching staff to bring their tactics to life.
Ah,
Here we go. Yeah,
go.
coach
This year we're
market.
introducing coaches to
So it's
help
like
you
the
do
star
same.
system that Foot Manager have
Coaches will
got.
have
Very
a
similar.
huge
Yeah.
impact on how well your team learns
Yeah, I
your
think it's like
tactics
it's really
and
similar
how
to the
players
scout
will
market,
develop.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Where
yeah, yeah.
you
Coaches
sort of
provide
choose.
different bonuses to players for the different departments. So attacking, defending, midfield, goalkeeping coaches, and they'll lead to better boosts for your players' attributes, and they can be shifted around as necessary.
Having more
Okay.
coaches and, of course, better quality
that guy from
coaches in
Birmingham
a
again?
given department will actually accelerate the
Bit of a
player's
Brummie accent
development.
there.
So if you sign a new striker, you might reshuffle your staff to have more coaches in the attacking department and manage the workload to get the most out of their development.
They were so good today, and give credit to the coach. He got his tactics absolutely right here.
I also like the
With all these
new
coaches,
Premier
it feels like
League
preparation is a big
logos
Broadcast.
and the stuff
Yeah.
trying to get the broadcast stuff. Yeah.
So what have you been cooking up on the training ground to give people
So
more
these are all
control
new
over what
cutscenes from
happens
what
on
we can
match
see.
Yeah,
day?
looks like it. Yeah.
There are actually 3 new features for match preparation: training plans, pre-match reports, and match-ready training.
Okay.
The
See, I've not
first way
heard
to
of this
make sure
before.
your
Yeah.
players are playing at 100% is to keep them sharp.
Oh, these
The expertise
ratings.
of
Are these
coaches set
ratings?
the ceiling
Yeah.
of how much of a boost a player can get to their
It looks like
attributes,
some ratings
but their
there.
sharpness
Shabozlai 82.
decides how much of this boost they'll actually get game to game.
Training plans was something that the community have talked to us about a lot, and we know that we could improve
Training
that.
plans.
So we've
Just
redesigned
fitness
this
and
year to make it easier
sharpness.
and make it more accessible, so players can actually keep
Right.
their players sharp, but also
85
make sure they're
votes
fit and in
there.
top physical
Was it?
condition.
It feels like
Yeah.
this is really going to be helpful in keeping the team going all year. So how about managing your training
These
on
are quite
a
cool,
game-to-game level?
Yeah.
Well, we're
Oh, here we go.
introducing
So this is
pre-match
tactical
reports as well
vision.
this year, so you can understand your opposition,
Key
how
attacking
they play,
players. Oh,
find
so
ways
this
to
is a
tweak your
report.
tactics and get the upper hand against them.
So if you're playing
like
against
it.
Man City, you might
I'm
not try to
100%
have
going to
as
use
much
tick attack
possession.
all the time.
And if
If
you're
it's a
lining up
tactic,
against Real Madrid,
100%.
you'll want to watch out for pace on the counter-attack. So we want you to be able to use these pre-match reports to understand how they like to play and make a plan for what you might
That's
need
pretty
to
cool.
do to
That I
stop
like
them.
that.
Say the pre-match report is telling you that the other team likes to park the bus. You know you're going to need great passing to unlock their defence. With match-ready training, you'll be able to play training drills that unlock one-time play styles for your players to use in the upcoming
Right,
match. So in this
okay.
case, you'd select
That's a
a
good
drill that
idea. I
focuses on
like that.
passing,
Yeah.
and we'll offer the players involved in that drill some key passing play styles.
So how much of an impact will this have on their performance?
This will literally change the game. For example, we see how the players cross and head the ball in the training drill. Here's what those same players look like performing the same action, this time in the game, with those additional crossing and heading play styles.
You're right. You can really
Right,
see the
okay.
difference
Yeah.
that it's making.
So you can tailor
once
these
you get
training
into
for
a game,
specific
is there
weaknesses or
anything
strengths
Yeah,
going into each
yeah.
game. That's cool.
Absolutely.
good idea,
Our
that.
community has been really looking forward to have the ability to spectate matches, focusing on one player or watching the whole match.
They've
if
already
you're in the
changed
stands
Nunez
or
to
even
9.
from the
Did you see
that?
touchline as the manager.
Yeah.
And
I
you'll
like
still
this
be able
angle.
to make tactical
Oh, yeah,
adjustments
that's
as you
nice.
watch.
And you can
Yeah,
change
this
it,
looks
get new
amazing.
animations.
We haven't even
Yeah.
spoken about player career. So
we
shifting
go.
gears to the other side of the career experience.
Oh, this is like
All
a
right,
pro
I wanna
club
go
sort of.
be the next club legend for Liverpool. How am I doing that in FC24?
That's a cool
dream in
cutscene.
mind, Sheldon, because that's exactly the type of thing we want to celebrate in player career this year.
I
That's
like
why we're
this.
introducing in player career the player agent. Your player agent will have your back throughout your career. You'll tell them where you want to go, and they'll give you guidance every step of the way on how to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, that advice comes
Target
alive with
team.
career path objectives. So you have clear targets to deliver on. and you
Okay,
can
that's
make
really
that
that's
move
really
to your
cool.
dream club a
Right.
reality.
What would some of these objectives look like? So let's say I want to start in a lower league, but then eventually make it to Liverpool.
Your player agent will know which stepping stone clubs you should be working towards, and they'll give you certain milestones to help you make those jumps. So, if you're a striker, that might mean reliably scoring 15 goals a season. Hit those targets, and you'll attract the interest from teams that advance
Oh,
you
and you've
down
got
your
different
chosen career
targets
path.
depending on the
His
team
speed
you
of
want
That's-
to go to.
That's
yeah.
been brilliant. He's certainly going to be difficult to stop today.
What are some ways that we can make sure that we are going to be
Dele Alli.
hitting all of
Yeah.
our goals in player career?
Well, we
The new
redesigned
Chelsea strip
player
without,
career
without
personality
sponsor as
feature
well.
to really
Interesting.
focus
Sponsor,
around
yeah.
play styles that we've mentioned before.
They're
As you
really
make
putting
the
a lot of
decisions
emphasis on
on
play
and off
styles
the
this
field.
year.
Yeah.
You'll actually get
Every
choices as
move.
to how your player plays on the field.
Buy
Yeah,
a
so
top end
this
bike.
year,
Did you
each
see that?
personality
Okay, yeah.
tier
So
will
there was
unlock
actually now
another
you can
play
actually
style
spend
you'll
your
be
money
able to
better. It looked
use.
like.
And the play styles you have
Ah,
to choose from
you can
will
actually
be based on what
pick your play
personality
style.
type you have. Get to the top tier of a personality, and you'll unlock a playstyle plus. This will take one of your signature abilities to world class. So you'll be able to dribble like
okay.
Vinny or shoot like Holland.
You can really see these play styles come to life. And is this a new camera in player career?
Exactly. We really wanted to put the player
Is
at the
it?
center of attention.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
think
when you
so.
decide to take an opponent one-on-one, you now have more immersion in those.
That was
Yeah.
definitely on
match.
amateur
All right,
AI.
and through
When
all
This
of
is like the
we
pro.
look
This is like
great on the
it's like
pitch,
on
the
pro
play
clubs.
styles
Then
are
you
in
have
Yeah,
the
it is.
focus
effect, and
camera
now we're
angle.
winning
Yeah.
Very similar, yeah.
championships, and it feels like we're really celebrating these massive moments.
Indeed, we've expanded dynamic moments in player and manager career to include some famous
Only
celebratory
available on
moments,
next-gen
like
consoles,
the
though.
trophy bus parade or end
Bus
of year
parades,
award
yeah.
ceremonies.
Ballon d'Or. Is that Cantona and Rivaldo?
Rivaldo, yeah.
Let's celebrate the
Yeah, they're
success
sat
of
next to
this
some
deep
players.
dive. And I have my eye on that Ballon d'Or. That looks incredible in FC24. Appreciate
That's
you taking
cool.
the time to go over all.
I wonder if you
these
can
because
choose
you're
what they
player
wear to the
and
Ballon
manager.
d'Or ceremony.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Go
You
crazy
can
or
check out
stay
the
nice
rest
for
of
the
our
tuxedo.
EA
Yeah.
Sports FC24 deep dive series. Welcome to the club.
That flew by.
That was 7 minutes. My God.
I
I feel
don't
like they barely
know.
went into everything.
How
Yeah.
long was that? That
Yeah,
was
7 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's 7
So
minutes
there you
past now.
go. That is the EIFC 24 career mode deep dive. Shall we go back and watch a bit of it again? Is there any particular bit that you wanted to go back to? Any interesting bits?
Yeah, I would like to look at the player career mode, especially with the ages
Okay.
when you went through the targets, because
Yeah.
that's something I find really, really interesting. How you can choose the club you want to go to or your target club, and they can give you targets that suit that specific club. So I think it means, like, say, you know, you want to
You
move
want
to
to celebrate
Manchester
in player
City,
career this year.
That's
then
why we're
you can,
introducing in player
you
career
can
the player
be set
agent.
targets that
Your
would
player
suit their
agent
play
will have your
style, so
back
you'll
throughout your
notice.
career.
Yeah,
You'll
absolutely.
tell them where
Let's
you
have a
want to
look.
go, and they'll give you guidance every step of the way.
So you can also choose them for a renew contract as well.
Right,
And you've got
okay,
like
this is cool.
so this is renew contract. At the beginning of each season, you will renegotiate your contract based on your performance in league and cup matches. Your requested weekly rewards directly impacts the objective that the club is setting for you.
Right. So if you ask more money, then they'll give you tougher objectives to hit. Okay. That makes
Basically,
sense.
yeah.
And this is what I kept saying, like, oh, but at the same time, do wages matter because you can't spend it on anything? Like, I can
Yeah,
go, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I can get $1,000 a week. It doesn't matter, do you know? But it looks like later on they did introduce a bit more different new ways you can spend your wage, new ways you can spend money in games. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Let's just go on to
It was like,
PSG though. So this is the other one. Choose a target club you want to join at the end of the season. Your requested wage will affect the objectives given by the club. Everybody recognizes Paris is focused on possession, right? So it's got their play style there, and you have to reach all mandatory contract objectives to be eligible for this contract. Reach optional wage objectives to receive your requested weekly wage. Okay, cool. And then where you can actually spend your points, and this
yeah,
is where
it
you
said
choose.
you could, like, yeah, so you choose, and then you can spend your wages now on something that might actually matter a bit more. Here we go. So order a suit. Are these more objectives, or are these actually just like, oh, here, buy this?
These are order a suit from a top end designer. I don't know.
So
Oh,
you
here we
get
go.
Maverick. You see that? I said you get Maverick points.
Maverick
What's a
points.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
Maverick.
it's like your personality, isn't it? Maverick.
Your
or...
personality, yeah. And
Yeah.
then if you go to this bit here, this is where you select your play style depending on what sort of personality you are.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
So Tiki Taka executes difficult first on ground passes with high accuracy using back heels where contextually appropriate. Short distance ground passes are highly accurate. So there's different play styles. That's interesting. And then
obviously you can unlock the Playstyles Plus, which is a more improved version of that. So better accuracy.
Yeah.
We'll only ever use it when it knows it will 100% work.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. So you can do acrobatic. There's the new player cam here, which is very, like you said, very pro clubs-esque as well.
Yeah.
So this is the new
Exactly. We
player
really
cam.
wanted to put the player at the center of attention. So maybe when you decide to take an opponent one-on-one, you now have more immersion.
See the
in those
crowd
key
then as
moments
well,
of the
how
match.
close they came.
All right, and through all of this, we
They, like,
look
went
great
right
on
to
the
the front
pitch.
of the
they
stand.
charge
Styles are in
forward to
full
the
effect,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
now
yeah.
we're
That's
winning
very dangerous.
championships, and it
You
feels
get
like
kicked
we're
out of the
really
stadium for
celebrating
that
these massive
in real life.
moments.
Indeed. We've
I want to
expanded
go back
dynamic
and have a look
moments
if
in
you
player
don't
and manager
mind. I want to
career
go and have a
to
look at
include some
all these
famous
different
celebratory moments.
all these different.
So the
So
pre
we've got the tactics screen here. I wonder if we're looking at the tactics screen for the game now.
So this looks like it's custom tactics because you look at
Yeah.
the top right now, you see instructions, formation, squad, roles. It's
Yeah.
you go so okay, that's quite cool. It goes into more detail here. So look like depth. the range and defense, the offensive build-up play. That
And
looks a
you've
bit
got
different.
see those like little lines as well in depth.
Yeah,
It's almost like a suggested depth for this.
yeah.
For
I
this
think, isn't it
video.
now? If you go over like 70, I think it was, then it's like, say you're doing forward runs,
Yeah,
and you go all the way up to like 80 out of 100,
yeah,
then it'll put a little line in the message being like, but you'll be open to counterattacks. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's just
That's
giving you
it.
a bit more of an indication now. It looks like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and it's auto offside trap as well, isn't it? Over like 80, I think it's all
Yes,
offside
yeah.
trap and stuff. But yeah, I wonder if we're looking at the new tactics screen there, which is really interesting because you've got defense. You can. This is not yours. This is the. Is this your
Opposition, isn't it?
opponent? Yeah, your
I
opponent.
think it was, yeah, because you get the reports, don't you?
Yeah. So part the bus. Oh no, I think this is yours because it's being able to change it as well. So what are these trophies on the top right? Can you see where it says like novice? I wonder if you become a better manager and you get access to more things, or
It
it
could
gives you
be.
more of an
It could be.
indication.
The more you unlock and the more you play, then you get more customization,
Yeah.
more control over the club.
Yeah. And then you've got extreme hot potato,
These
time
little
block
games.
through ball, beating cross. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So these are training sessions you do before a particular game, and you can tailor this depending on your opposition and what the
Are
weaknesses of that
these
opposition are.
some more ratings there as well? That look like some
Uh,
Newcastle ratings, maybe.
Kieran Trippier, Bruno
85.
Guimaraes. Yep, Joel
82
Linton.
rated Joel Linton, 82 rated Shah, 81 Almiron. It looks like it could be player ratings, which is something new.
Could be. I'm sure EA will say that they're not confirmed and they're still working on them, but this very well might be. Let's go back to the Liverpool squad, which we had a quick
we saw
glance
that.
at. Here we go. So
This looks so. This
Jota,
is updated because in FIFA 23, Bajcetic is a 66 rated player.
right.
Currently live. So now he's 72 and has a face scan. So I think this shows that these probably are accurate ratings.
Yeah. So Jota's down 1 as well from 85.
Gakpo's the same. Elliot's up to
Elliot's way up.
77. So that's
Yeah.
5. McAllister's
way
gone
up.
from 76 to 81. Jones is in the gold now.
Yeah.
Van Dijk down 2, is it? Is he 90 this year?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure he was 90.
There's no Salah here, interestingly.
Why is that?
Robertson and no Trent either, yeah. So Addison is the same, Kanate is the same. Gomez has gone down by I think 1 or 2. Van Dijk's 2 down, Robertson's down.
Yeah.
Diaz is the same, Nunes is the same. Szoboszlai now looks, I think that's maybe 3 ratings higher.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 79 before.
Matip was 83 this year, so he's gone down by, it looks like 3 ratings.
Yeah,
he's taken quite a hit.
Way down.
Callagher's still silver as well, which I'm quite surprised about, to be honest. And then they showed someone else's ratings as well.
Is it Real Madrid?
Arsenal, this is
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, not Mönchengladbach, yeah.
Leverkusen. Verts
So you had
85.
Yeah.
Frimpong 83. That's a big
that's his rating. He'll be ridiculously good.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we get any others? I feel like we had a glimpse of a few.
There's a bit of Newcastle. They had Real Madrid squad, but with no ratings. So I think it was in a different mode.
Right, okay.
Like here, I think this is the what's it called?
That's the report.
Report, yeah.
The first thing, yeah. We've got a comment. Maria says, first person in player career. I don't believe so. I think there's a camera that I'm going to show you here, which is a brand new camera for this year. Where was it? Was it at the end?
At the end.
Here we go. So Marius, this is just for you.
Holland.
You can really.
This is the new player career
Is this a new camera.
It's not first person, but it's very focused on the play. It's almost like progress.
It's
like a progress
maybe when
camera,
you
pretty much.
decide to take an opponent one-on-one,
There we
you'll
go.
now have more.
Because when I
immersion
played
in
the
those key
game
moments of the match.
in Amsterdam,
at
the launch event, there was no first-person camera. There was first-person POV view of the referee in cutscenes.
Yeah.
Where if you let it play
We've
out,
expanded
you
that
could
having
see the
moments
game
in
from the ref's
there,
point of view, so the
it's
players
moving
surrounding the ref and complaining. You had here the ref spraying the lines on the floor. And I did see a lot of speculation on Twitter of people saying, "Oh, there's a first-person, camera angle in EAFC this year." I never saw any of that, and there's nothing in career mode, so I don't think that's going to be happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned as well, it's almost like a first-person manager camera though, which is really interesting. I wonder how boring that could be.
Yeah,
For the whole match.
with when you're behind the manager, I thought it was like a POV of the manager where you could see the game from the manager's POV. But when you've got Klopp sitting in the way half the game, you can't see half what's going on right now. It just seems a bit pointless.
I'm going to just create a poll for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We're reacting live to the official career deep dive. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Are you happy with the EAFC 24 career mode changes? Let me know what you think. I'm just going to put that in now. So everyone who's in chat, let us know if you're happy, and we'll look at the poll a bit later on. Got Richard in the chat as well. Hi, Richard. Thanks so much for watching. Says Leeds United going to win Championship League Cup and FA Cup this season. Best club in the world, better than Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Man City. Thanks for that, Richard. Are you a Leeds United fan by any chance? I think you might be. Zidane is also in the chat. Resounding no. I want a player career mode that begins from the street, then you get scouted to bigger clubs. That could be really interesting.
It's a good idea. That again,
good.
that's a bit like the journey mode where you started off very early in his career as a kid, and you sort of worked your way up, but it sort of fast forwarded it. Like I said, I do think a journey mode where it focuses on you being from like an academy player, playing in the youth system, and working your way up to the big stage would work fantastically. But it's just how to implement that.
Yeah, because there was like you were in Brazil at one point, weren't you, doing like shooting drills and stuff? I remember in a game. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, absolutely. We got Maria saying good changes in my opinion. There you go. So if you haven't voted in the poll, please let us know what you think. Freddie's in the chat as well. Hi, Freddie. Thanks so much for joining us. He says, will there be a first person in player career? We've just talked about that. No, unfortunately not. So
we don't think so. At least they haven't shown it in this trailer.
Yeah,
and when I played the game, there was no first-person mode, so it doesn't look like it unless EA put it in their pitch notes, which they might release later on today, where they go into extreme detail, a bit more than the trailer, but it's not looking likely.
So Freddie, this is a new camera for player career mode, very sort of pro clubs-esque, following your specific player. So that's the new camera there, Freddie. I hope that answers your question. Got Sue in the chat as well. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo fan, obviously. People saying yes have moved mad. Yeah, let us know what you think then. Vote in the poll if you think though. Kenzie's also in the chat. Hi Kenzie, thanks for joining us. I think the only good thing this year is the new spectating mode. Let's go back to the spectating mode that we just talked about. So yeah, this is the manager camera, the spectating mode from the side of the pitch. That looks good, but it might get boring for the whole match. Is the only thing that I was thinking.
And I said Klopp's blocking after you're viewing this, so you'll be seeing half the game the whole time. It's more the assistant manager's point of view, because you're stood behind the manager.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I wonder if you could genuinely get a manager like out of his eyes sort of camera. I think that'd be really good.
POV view would be good.
Yeah, and you can zoom in and stuff. I think that'd be really good.
There was a section they showed as well where whilst the game was happening, whilst all the players were running back towards the goal, it came up saying like you could choose a tactic, and it had Klopp do an animation where he started pushing everyone back up the pitch. That looked quite cool.
Oh, really? When was that?
Yeah, I think it might be this bit here actually.
Was it that pitch? Shall I play it out?
Maybe, yeah.
Klopp and all the real world managers, how they actually play what they're trying to deliver across their club. We've taken things like Part the Bus.
But there was a section with Klopp where it did show the manager choosing the tactic as the game was going on.
As the game was going on. Okay, that was interesting. I'll let it play out.
Very
see if you notice it. I'll pause it. I'm just going to read a few comments. We've got so many comments in the chat. Thank you so much for everyone watching.
Maybe
we're
reacting live
because
it's quite loud right now.
We're reacting live to the career mode deep dive from EAFC. Thanks everyone for joining. Richard says FC. What does that mean? Football club. Stands for EA Football Club 24. Frankie, what do you all think of the career mode? I'll let Lewis answer that one in a minute for you. Sue says, yeah, but why is the manager in the middle? You can't see anything. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what we said. It needs to be like a first person thing. Zidane, the agent thing is good, but you had that from the start from the street on FIFA 12 on Nintendo Wii. It was the best career mode played by me. Wow.
So that could be a good sign though. Yeah. If that was the best you played, then maybe it'll be good again. Yeah.
Absolutely, but that was 12 years ago, Lewis. That was
So
It's
12
taken them
years
12
ago.
years.
Yeah,
So
to
it's
get
taken
back
them
to where
12
they
years to
were.
realize, all right, that worked. Let's put that back in again.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark's in the chat. Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for joining us. If they still have the system in career mode where if you don't do silly objectives or you're injured, then you move down to sub and reserve, then player career is pointless. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to look at bugs, I think, on this reaction. Let's just hope that there's less bugs this year, because I know career mode was full of bugs last year. So we're absolutely with you, Mark. Hopefully we get a bug-free career mode. Kenzie, so will the Ballon d'Or ceremony only happen if you are playing my player? That's what it looks like, Kenzie.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a player career only feature, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. But it looks like that.
I think it's about you making your player get to the top of the game. So as a manager mode, it wouldn't really make sense, I think, too much, because as a manager, you wouldn't be winning a Ballon d'Or, you know.
Yeah.
But there was loads of it looked like real faces and real managers in the crowd. So you were sat next to teammates and managers. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Roaring Blues at FPL says new Alvarez and Rico Lewis real faces on the Ballon d'Or cutscene and team celebration. You know what? I'm actually going to go and have a look at that, because I want to see if you're right. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Go back to Ballon d'Or. That is a great spot, Richard. If that's correct, that is a great spot. Let's have a look. So we've definitely got Rivaldo.
Rivaldo and Cantona look like.
You've got Edison
Haaland,
there. That's
Ederson.
Haaland. Nathan Ake at the back there.
Let's celebrate the success of this deep
Let's
dive.
see if we
I
can
have my eye on that
see.
Ballon d'Or. That looks incredible.
So we've
There's
got
John
that Stones and Diaz.
Diaz.
I don't
tell who that
know.
is.
Yeah, can't tell who that is.
Appreciate you taking the time to go over all.
Roaring Blues FPL. We just had a look and we couldn't see them. If you can let us know. Oh, maybe there's a Man City cutscene here, just before the Ballon d'Or.
Indeed,
I can see
That's
Laporte.
Laporta looks like.
Oh, that's
Again, not
Alvarez.
sure.
That's
That
Alvarez.
looks like Alvarez and Rico Lewis is there. So
Yeah.
it looks like Rico Lewis has got his hair, or similar hair this year.
That's Alvarez there.
Yeah, and then that's Rico Lewis who comes running in now.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's Alvarez. That's a
Yep.
great spot, Roaring Blues FPL. That is a great spot. And then Lewis is, we've got Rico Lewis. Great spot.
Good.
What a spot that is. Great spot that is. I'm just going to go back and see if you can spot where they changed the tactics halfway through, because that'd be interesting to have a look at. Richard says FIFA 96 were the best. I mean, I think I was playing Pez then, Richard. I don't know. I think I was playing Pez back then. I don't know.
I wasn't
don't know
even,
if it
I
was
wasn't
the
even
best.
born.
Dear me.
I wasn't even alive.
Richard, you're asking the wrong bit. I was very much alive. But Frankie 7, do you know if career mode managers could choose what team they want when they want to switch teams? Lewis, do you want to answer that one?
I don't know. I don't know if career mode managers can choose what team they want when they want to switch teams. Maybe.
So
I don't know. They didn't show that. Yeah. So
choose which team you want to go to.
because last year in FIFA 23, it was like you left it up to the algorithm to choose where your next club would be. They've definitely said in player career you can now choose where you want to go and you can work your way to it. So there might be something similar in manager mode where you can sort of have an option, but they didn't mention it in this. So I guess maybe it'll be similar again. Yeah. That's it there, yeah. So
that's it. So you can actually choose attacking tactics on the fly from the touchline, essentially, as the manager. Let's go back and watch it in full.
Gives you a little animation, it looks like, as well.
Oh yeah.
So get forward.
So you get the old get forward,
yeah.
get forward. Yeah, absolutely. So, Frankie, to answer your question, we don't know. That wasn't confirmed. Jay Moore's also in the chat. Jay, thanks so much for watching. Manager mode, question mark. And all you're seeing is the back of him. You can't even see the team. Yeah, that's what we were saying. It'd be so much better if it was actually out of the manager's eyes rather than like the back of the manager. Why do you think they've done it that way?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because you can use the real managers. So if you were controlling a real manager, you might be able to see real like situation. Like Klopp's very animated a lot of the time, so you might be able to see the animated Klopp or like an animated Pep. But then Roy Hodgson's not going to be stood on the sideline for 90 minutes. It's a bit inaccurate, let's be honest. He'll be sat in the dugout for most of it. Yeah, so
his legs are getting tired, wouldn't they? After half an hour, you think he's getting on now. In here, good old Roy. Rocking Games kid, see-through hoodies. That's what we need. That's a
Yeah.
great suggestion. Maybe there's like you can buy like an invisible robe or something from the store when you get to a certain level. Maybe that's it.
To make tactical adjustments as you watch.
I like.
Go be the
I
next
don't think
club
we talked
legend
about
for
this enough.
Liverpool.
This
How
sort of
far- I wanna
this
go-
looks suspiciously like a pro club's
Shifting gears to the other
selection.
Sort of customization. I mean,
Very
the
customized.
the kit looks like a pro club's kit. I guess you
Yeah.
can do the create a
side
squad
of
this
the
year, but
But the hairstyles, this looks like what very similar to what might be in pro clubs from what we
Yeah.
can see here. But it looks like maybe they've used some of the technology from that to career mode, which is good, I suppose, for the individual customization. And hopefully they've got that bar. I don't know if you can see at the bar at the bottom where you can scroll across. That looks like there's a fair few hairstyles in there.
yeah,
Which is
it looks like it. Yeah,
good.
yeah.
We've got Frankie
I
in the chat again.
always welcome more customization. Always welcome more
Absolutely.
customization.
It would seem better to start at low manager career and work your way up instead of one season in the Indian League and then straight to FC Barcelona. Well, yeah, I mean that's a more realistic trajectory, probably. But we didn't see much of manager career, did we? In terms of like that progression, we didn't see that.
Yeah.
We only saw that in player career, so that'd be interesting to see how that happens. I might actually go back to that because it was right. At
It
the
just
start of the
seemed they're
stream.
putting a big emphasis on player
Everything
career
that
with
On player
like,
career.
you can choose your path, you can work your way from the bottom to the top. With
Very,
managers,
very
it just seems they sort of
tactical
left it to
ability.
like, oh yeah, you can start wherever you want and
Because
you can sort of go to the biggest
Control
clubs
is
in
a
a
big
second.
theme
So
this year,
Yeah.
and there are so
And
many
it looks
changes
like you'd be able
in
to
this
choose
space, separating
like
managers
real
from
life
game
managers as
players.
well for your
So
career
let's
as well,
start with the
potentially,
manager
because
Yeah.
they're
How are
all
people able to
licensed, and
leave
obviously
their
this
Yeah.
club and
this
tactics?
particular.
well, yeah, I
cutscene
remember they
shows
had that
Scott
last
being-
year as well
At the heart
because they
of
had
it,
Arteta's really bad face scan. Do you remember?
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely. So we've got here Paul Heckingbottom in the Premier League.
Yep, surprisingly.
What's going on there? Yeah. Okay. They need to update that because that Sheffield United have not been in the Premier League for a good old while because they've got Ange.
Well, they're in
Postecoglou
now.
there.
They are.
Sheffield United.
Yeah, they got promoted.
Oh, of course they did. Of course they did. Oh, of course they did. Of course they did. My bad. Was that automatic? Oh, they're automatic, weren't they? I was
Yeah,
thinking
they were
of.
automatic. They finished second. Yeah,
Oh,
it
I
was
feel so silly
Burnley.
now.
It was Burnley,
course.
Sheffield, and Luton. Yeah,
Of course it was. Sheffield United,
Sheffield
fans out
United,
there.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're Premier League bound. I'm just sore because I'm a West Brom fan. All right, so I'm just sore. But yeah, it looks like you can obviously choose. But for some reason, it's still the Juventus manager Allegri on the right. But I can see.
there's always going to be an error.
Yeah.
There's always going to be an error.
Pretty much given, yeah. Renee said, thanks so much for watching, Renee. You can see cutscenes on training ability Balor. Can you put that comment again, just so I can, because I can go back to any place you like if you want me to go back. Kenzie, the mid-game tactics is when you see Klopp's back when they're on about the cameras. Yeah, absolutely. We did find that in the end. It was this bit here.
Yeah.
We have the attacking tactics in there as well. So yeah, we did find that. So thank you so much for pointing that out. I'm just going to play manager career out a little bit. Was that Ballon d'Or then?
It looked like they had. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, they went
Was
through
that-
different parts of it.
That was before they said manager career, though, wasn't it?
So there's the bus
Yeah.
parade as well. It's player of the season.
Player of the
Control
season.
is a big
Ballon
theme
d'Or.
this year, and there are so many changes in this.
Oh,
space,
this looks like it's just a bit of an
separating
overview about
managers
everything they're going to talk
and player
about. So
career.
that
Yeah.
was sort of
Let's
going
start
through all of
with
it. Yeah.
manager
There we go.
Here
So
we
this
go.
is manager
Lead
career.
their
Let's
club
see.
and tactics.
Let's see if we can see any screenshots to show that progression, maybe.
Clubs, you'll find a manager who has been given the power to shape the tactical style and bring his own vision to life. And that's how a manager career feels in FC24.
You got a lot of Sean Dyche in this as well. I've seen like 3 times.
Maybe they put a lot of effort into that Sean Dyche player model, and they want to show it off. Yeah, that's terrible. The more I see that camera angle, like you can't even see.
And once you've chosen that style,
Okay,
how
so
will
the
managers
gegenpressing
shape
there,
your
it just looked like a constant pressure
Managers
tactic, really.
will
I think it might just be a
figure out the
fancy new
coaching
word for
staff.
constant
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah.
But
Okay, so
We'll see.
this is the coach. Let's have a quick look at this then. So you've got a weekly budget. You've got 13 open positions as staff. And you've got, so each coach has a specific tactical vision as well, and then knowledge. And then you've got their different skills as well. And obviously there's a weekly salary. interestingly, knowledge at the bottom. You see where it says Vincent Schmidt there at the bottom. They're an
Yes.
expert, but they're the cheapest. They're one of the cheapest ones that I can see on there. So that maybe there are some bargains that you can dig through for career
Yeah,
mode,
looks like
potentially.
it. Yeah.
Um,
Kenzie made a really good point in the comments that there seems
Yeah.
to be more subs this year, and that's going to be a good change. And I think actually when we looked at the squad list for Liverpool earlier, there was about 9 subs available rather than 7.
which is
so
that's the rule, isn't it? The updated rule.
yeah, so it looks
Yeah.
like they've updated that as well, which is good because I'm glad they obviously introduced 5 subs in FIFA 23 from
Yeah.
from the 3 subs rule, which is good as well.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really interesting, actually. You know, so.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I wonder if there'll be VAR.
That's something I think that could have been so easy to introduce as well because it's
Yeah.
just an extra animation and it's like
Yeah.
one you can easily skip.
Yeah.
You know, that's just it's been in real football for how many years now? Like
Yeah.
I'd say coming up towards at least 6 years.
Yeah.
Why is it not in the game yet? It's just a little animation thing.
Using coaches to help
Don't
you do
know.
the same. Coaches will have a huge
You think if they oh, I've just skipped all the way back to my left. You think if they wanted to go ultra realistic, that's something that one of the first things to add in there, VAR.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah. I was saying we should have a referee manager mode or referee mode. Not referee
Yeah,
manager mode. Yeah.
Right, so we're back where we were before.
Coaches will have a huge impact on how well your team learns.
So achieved ideal, right? Okay, so you get like a star system, and you can choose. You have to get again quite similar to Football Manager, where you have the 5-star rating, and you have to get the training up to 5 stars, depending on what the attributes are. This seems like a more simplistic version of that, where you've got, for example, on this screenshot here, ideally 16, but you've only got 11, and you've got 1 slot coach left. Oh no! So you've got the 3 coaches. So you have 3 coaches for attack, midfield, and defense, and then 1 for goalkeeping. Is what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
What's the text on the right say?
In order to reduce the time development plans, take and boost your players' ability to add coaches to this department. You can either transfer a coach from another department, or you can hire a new coach.
And I guess again, this is a new feature which I actually really like because you know, in real life, it's not just Guardiola. It's Guardiola and his like massive coaching staff, which he's hired specifically for the tactics he plays.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to finally introduce that into the game. The same way with agents as well. These are 2 things that are really prominent in real life football now. You know, look at how many assistant managers are becoming managers at clubs because people realize they're just as much as the ideas the actual manager are. So
yeah. And it looks like, so on this particular screenshot, they've got a way underpowered coaching team with only 4 stars from an ideal of 18. And it's going to take Marco Asensio 214 weeks
oh my God,
to progress. Kylian Mbappe 84 weeks. So obviously the better your coaching team, the less time it takes for your players to develop, which looks like it'll be a pretty good.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lead to better boost for your players.
Right. Okay.
And they can be shifted.
Oh, hang on a minute. Did you see that?
Very
Seniors and youths.
5 average overall 80. Okay.
So
does that take into account the academy players as well, the youth players?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Will there be a youth team?
I mean, there's always been a youth team, but it's just you can never do anything with it. Like you can have 20 players in your academy, and all you can do with them is either put them on your reserves and like 50 rated, never play them, or send them on loan for 6 seasons where they'll play like maybe like 2 games a season and they'll just don't progress. There should be a system where you can have an academy team, just leave it to simulate, but they're progressing in your team.
Yeah,
to your style.
Absolutely agree.
Can be shifted around as
Wonder what other tidbits we can see
and of course better quality
from here.
In a given department will actually
Eric Dyer's in an attacking drill.
So if you sign a new striker, you might reshuffle
for some reason.
have more coaches in the attacking department and manage the workload to get the most.
Trent's in that one.
They were so good today, and give credit to
Trent was in that bit of video there.
Yeah, it's interesting why he wasn't in that other one. So I like all these new cutscenes. I like you even got like the media people with the cameras filming.
Working up on the training ground to give people more control over what happens on match day.
There are actually 3 new features for match preparation: training plans.
Ryan is in the chat as well. Do you have contracts in career mode? Yes, you do. Let's go and have a look at that.
To keep them sharp. The expertise of coaches sets a ceiling of how
Here.
far you want to go, and they'll give you guidance.
So you've got in EAFC 24, they explain in this deep dive that essentially you've got an agent that you can use to tell where you want to go, how you want to progress. So you could choose a specific football club and say, I want to get to this football club. How do I get there? You need to accomplish a certain number of goals to do it. And then your agent will then make the move for you, essentially. And it's similar to renewing the contract as well. If you're at Liverpool, as the screenshot shows here, renew contract, you have to create a certain number of goals. You have to get percentage of appearances. You have to get inside the box goals. Skill move dribbles are optional, and match rating. If you were to reach all the mandatory contract objectives, you're eligible, and then you can reach optional wage objective to receive your requested weekly wage. Okay, so you do need
So
to
I
get
guess
the
that
optional
means,
ones.
yeah. So I guess
You
that
do
means if you want to improve the wage, so say, or it might be like bonuses. Do you know what I mean? Like,
bonuses here potentially.
yeah, it could be. So yeah, these right now looks like these are like the what you got to hit to reach the 40,000 a week.
Yeah.
But I reckon you can probably request more, but those would all increase in how
Yeah.
much you got to do. So it'll be instead of 28 created goals, it'll be 35. You know.
Yeah. Can you see the headers at the top as well? It says current contract, your path, and recommendations. So maybe your agent gives you recommendations as well.
Yeah, so yeah, I
Should be
did see that. So
You saw that?
with the agents, yeah. So what they do with recommendations is like, say you say, I'm currently at, Notts County in League Two, but I want to end my career or I want to get to Manchester City. Because Manchester City's team focuses on possession and passing, your agent will recommend you targets to hit, which will get you noticed by scouts of that team. So they're looking for
Right.
people who are happy with possession, they're strong in the passing. If you can hit certain targets that sort of will suit their system, you're more likely to get that move in the future. So they'll
That's cool.
recommend things to you, yeah, and they'll also recommend career paths. So you can't just jump from Notts County to Man City. They'll say, okay, well maybe go to Burnley because they have company manager. They play a similar system. You'll get used to that system, and you can go to Manchester City. Like, I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. And then you've got at the beginning of each season, so you have to renegotiate that every season with new objectives and stuff, which is really interesting. What else did we see on here as well? So you've got new contracts. There we go. So you've got the change target team. So what it looks like on this one is that they're at Liverpool at the moment at this particular save, and they want to get to PSG, and they need to earn a new contract by getting these different objectives and have a higher weekly wage at PSG is what it looks like, which is really interesting. So just going back to, so it looks like 47% appearances. It was only 28% in the other one. So it looks like if you want to get to a bigger club, they do ramp up the appearances.
How
like
easy do you reckon it would be to get like released? Because if you don't hit any of these targets, do they just release you? Do they demote you? Do they what happens? It'd be interesting to see that as well.
I don't know. Yeah, it would be really interesting. Yeah, maybe you don't get a contract. You have to go back down. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be really interesting. Frankie says, is manager career mode still 15 years or is it more? We were debating this before. We actually didn't know how long manager career mode was because we hadn't ever got to the end. EA didn't say whether or not it's still 15 years. Unfortunately, Frankie said we can't confirm that, but maybe something to find out a bit later on. Mario says, will the game be good or is it the same as FIFA 23? Lewis, you played the game. You were at Amsterdam at the launch event. What do you reckon?
I think it's an improvement. I think it feels better, but we had that at the beginning of FIFA 23. It felt different to FIFA 22. We had the new accelerate styles and the lengthy meta. It all felt different and better, but it changed quickly. So, off first impressions, I think it's promising for the new franchise. I think it's better than the gameplay is currently in FIFA 23, but we'll have to wait and see to if it stays that way or if it would quickly change to pace is all that matters, because they've introduced obviously play styles, which are really interesting. I think that's going to be a really exciting new feature this year. Hopefully Hypermotion V, which is a massively improved hypermotion technology. So now the gameplay does feel more realistic. The animations are more realistic. And to be fair, all the modes they've introduced as well that we've seen so far, the career mode looks promising, like an improvement. Ultimate Team and what we know so far, that looks really impressive. I think it's going to be better than it is this year, and hopefully the start of something good.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
If you want to get a more detailed perspective on what we thought of EAFC 24 or what Lewis thought of EAFC 24, he went to Amsterdam at the launch event. He got to get hands-on with the game, and we did our first gameplay impressions video on the Mirror Gaming YouTube channel. Just go onto our channel, click subscribe while you're there. You might as well, if you're going through our videos, click subscribe. And if you have a look, it's one of the, I think it's the second most recent video is our hands-on first impressions of EAFC 24. So go and watch that if you're interested in looking at first impressions of the gameplay and what we thought of that as well. Got Desron in the chat. Desron, thank you so much for being in the chat. Are you all excited to play it? I guess you're from the United States. I'm really excited to play it. Lewis has already played it, so he's not excited because he's already played it. But I'm really excited to play it. Mario says thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Marius, for being in the chat. Really appreciate you being here. And thank you to Lewis for your knowledge. Shall we have a look at the poll? So we did a poll. If you haven't voted in the poll yet, please vote. But we're going to close it in a good 30 seconds or so. We're going to have a final countdown of whether you're excited to play career mode, whether these career mode changes are enough. Let us know, and I'll end the poll in a minute. So yeah, let us know. I like that all the managers have been face scanned now.
Yeah, properly face scanned because they were face scanned last year, but Arteta looked like some random person that had nothing to do with Arsenal or Arteta. So
yeah. Although Arteta hasn't been in this video.
That's true. Maybe they're hiding him. Maybe they just can't get his face right. Maybe he refuses. Oh, actually, isn't it Arsenal are in partnership with Konami anyway, so they might not get face scans.
Oh no, but
same with
EA
Manchester
have got
United,
the Premier League license though.
Oh, see, that's what I mean. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're like, we got the license, but we're not going to show Arsenal. The same way there hasn't been much Manchester United in this because they're also with Konami.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Frankie says, are you going to review the pitch notes today? We'll have a look if they're live. If they are live, we'll go through them. Actually, that's a good idea. Desmond said, do you think this is a step forward or will it boil down to the same old game that we used to? I think Lewis, you just answered that question. But Lewis, do you think it's a step forward?
Personally, only time will tell, to be honest, because it's still so early. From what I played, it was a really early version of the game. They're going to make a lot of changes before its release. When I played it, it felt promising. It felt like a step forward. It did feel good. And I enjoyed what I saw, what I played. A bit like how when FIFA 23 came out with the new accelerate styles, like I said earlier, it felt better, but it got changed very quickly and it fell back into that pace is all that matters sort of category again. So I think only time will tell. It's promising now, but let's see if EA change it. And if not, I think it's the best.
Thank you very much, Lewis. Frankie says they are live. Some notes caught my eye. Let's have a look. Here's the EAFC 24 pitch notes career deep dive. Is there anything specifically you want to have a look at, Lewis? I can see that there's all the different.
Okay, yeah. So let's have a look at this then, because we only got told about 3, I think, in that video, and I only knew 4 beforehand. So there are some new ones here that I haven't seen yet. So let's go through them.
So we've got standard, a balanced approach to the game, wing play, tiki-taka, counter-attack, low risk and low block, Gegen pressing around a high press, kick and rush around strength, and athleticism enables your players to often bypass the midfield. That's very like 1990s.
Kick and rush.
Yeah. And then park the bus. I don't think. Do you know anyone that plays kick and rush in this era of football? I don't.
I started play. Yeah, it's very an old style of play. Yeah, just sort of hoof it and hope for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Tactical vision, scouting. You got play styles. So this is the scout search screen, so you can search for different scouts and stuff. Sorry, coaches, not scouts. Getting mixed up with Football Manager here. So it says.
Well, that looks like it might be for players actually. It is, yeah, it's a player, so you can find players with certain play styles and tactical fits.
Oh right, okay.
That's really
and
good.
play
So
styles.
So say you're playing gegenpressing. Yeah, so say you're playing gegenpressing, which is obviously a tactic which is known with the likes of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
You'll be able to probably find midfielders who fit that system from Liverpool. So you might be able to like sign someone like, I don't know, Curtis Jones, who's got a play style as well, and then you can bring him to your team. So I really like that. I think that's a really good addition.
That's really cool. I think we've seen a lot of the coaching stuff. Frankie says additional improvements is quite coming out. Should we go to there?
Let's have a look.
So it says we've expanded the amount of clothing and accessory options. Some requested hoodies, tracksuits, sweater, as well as glasses. Our list of kit templates for Creator Club has been expanded to include a variety of models that are featuring Tress sponsors. We've redesigned the decision-making process of the AI when determining whether they want to add a buy clause or not. When you loan a player to them, we've implemented a point system that evaluate the buy clause desirability based on multiple factors: the quality of the player, how much the team transfer budget was required, and if the club lacks depth in the area or if they have excess of players in that particular department. We've added a change to the AI shopping list logic to make sure that the board priority a club has for youth development will play a role in determining how much they would look for promising players. Expect tougher competition with the likes of Man City and Real Madrid to sign the stars of the future. That's cool. That's cool.
I like that. Yeah, so I feel
Moving
like
forward, yeah.
I feel like now, if you're doing career mode and you went for a youngster who's unknown, the big clubs aren't in for him because he's unknown.
Yeah.
But in real life, you see Chelsea, Real Madrid, Man City, Liverpool all signing these 16-year-olds who have barely touched the pitch in like that people have seen really like above under 18s level because they know they're going to be the next big thing. So that's more realistic. Yeah,
absolutely. Moving forward, the IO will try to keep a balanced number of players on the left and right sides of the pitch. I know that was an issue from before as well. They're just like all the AI standing right wingers and stuff. So that's interesting. Thanks for the heads up, Frankie. Really appreciate that. Maria says, Lewis, Camp Nou will be in FC24 or not?
I don't know personally. When I played the game myself, you only were able to use Manchester City and Real Madrid as the men's team. I think it was Chelsea women's and Wolfsburg women's as well. So we couldn't use Barcelona. And then I haven't seen anything yet of the stadium. There's been no announcements made by EA, anything official. So I don't think so. I don't think because it wasn't in FIFA 23.
No, I know that Barcelona were with Konami for the eFootball.
Yeah.
Although I believe their contract was up. So
so it'll be interesting to see. I think the Allianz Arena is not going to be in it this year. I've seen that mentioned a few times.
Cool.
But with the Camp Nou, I can't answer yes or no because I don't want to say yes and it's in there. I don't want to say no and it's not.
Plus, isn't it a campsite?
Yeah, it's currently a building ground. Yeah.
Oh, a building site, not a campsite.
Yeah, it's
people
currently
like camping on it. It's a building site. It's a building.
It's currently just a bunch of rubble right now. Half of it is. So we'll see.
Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at dynamic moments. So these are the
Ballon d'Or.
Oh, so it does get Manager of the Year. Will present as the winners.
Okay, so managers will be.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's
manager
available.
and player career. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There you go. So just to confirm, I don't know who asked that, but we can confirm that now. Tactical view. So this is we've ever since we added the options to sim the match at high speed, we've received requests from the community about being able to spectate a match. You can monitor the activity above. Oh, so you can switch the camera.
Okay, this is more detailed here, it looks like then. See what I mean about Haaland's just a monster this year.
Scored within a minute.
I wonder what level the AI is on there, by the way. So this is over the top. Okay, this looks like a manager point of view there. Like a POV.
Oh, hang on a minute. Guys, we were taking the mick out of them. Have they actually got it? I think they have.
This looks like manager POV, so you can probably
Why
change it.
Did they not show that in the trailer?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And this looks like you can control the camera angle yourself. Oh, that's quite cool. Amount of angles you can choose.
You can get a touchline camera. Why did they show that in the deep dive?
That's such a better view than behind your. I guess that was to show off the fact again. EA are all about authenticity, so
maybe.
Look, you can use Jurgen Klopp in the game, but this is what we actually want to see. You want to see that you can view it from the POV of the touchline.
Yeah,
I like the camera angle in there as well that you could watch off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to player career then. So this is more about these are more cutscenes here. Target team. A new contract. We saw this, didn't we? Recommendations. You saw that as well. Objective generator. Always plan ahead. Weekly wage. On loan.
So it's saying they can send you on loan.
So it says free agent as well. If your contract with the current club is going to expire, you can renew it if the club is satisfied or go looking for a new club as a free agent. Joining a club as a free agent provides a bonus to weekly wage, so planned transfers can be financially beneficial, just like in real life, I suppose.
It does seem a lot more true to life.
Yeah.
I feel like this career mode
Yeah.
than last year, and I really think it looks like they've also listened to a lot of the community stuff as well, which has always been a massive thing that EA I feel have lacked in the past. Sometimes listen to the community.
yeah.
So I'm glad.
Yeah, absolutely. Focus camera, we saw that as well. Customization, that's a cool tattoo.
Just loads of tattoos. It looks like
That's
proper.
cool, like Messi style. We're also introducing face guards and goggles.
Edgar Davis.
Edgar Davids, yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Animations, training updates. You can now participate. Oh yeah, we saw this ahead of each match. You don't worry about need to miss a training session because you've advanced to the next match.
Good.
Okay, cool.
And
Dynamic
then
moments. Oh yeah,
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or. Yeah, Ballon d'Or. We saw that. Anything else? I think that's it.
No, that's about it. Anything else in manager career we might have missed?
Let's have a look. Tactical view. We saw that.
What's the pre-match preparations?
Pre-match preparations. Here we go. Pre-match reports. Probable lineup.
Okay.
Opposing teams fallen over the last 5 matches in competitive standing. Opponent threats. Match ready training. Different drills and things. Successfully completing game crossing scenarios drill will equip your strikers with a power header play style, wingers with whipped pass play styles, and defensive midfielders with an aerial play style. So you can. Oh, there's Salah as well.
Oh right, there you go.
Salah's there, so don't worry, he's not off to Real Madrid or something.
What do they know that we don't?
Yeah, exactly. Was there anything else that we missed?
No. Are there any more ratings? Any more ratings about?
I can't see any.
Yeah, because it is usually in these trailers.
Oh, here we go.
Is that PSG?
Yeah, I think
Mbappe
that's
91.
So we've got Mbappe 91. We've got Neymar 89. Donnarumma 18. Verratti's gone down. Wasn't he 88?
So Verratti was 87. Marquinhos was 88. Donnarumma was 88. Hakimi was 85. Fabian was 83. Vitinha has gone up, I think. Kimpembe's the same. Danilo's the same, I want to say. Maybe gone up by 1 or down by 1. And then New Men's has gone up by quite a bit as well, I think. Maybe by 2 ratings.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, because usually in these trailers, they'd use the FIFA 23 ratings or the FIFA 22 ratings in the past. So it's really interesting to see they've gone for new ratings. I think these could be the ratings then.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were, like we said before, EA won't say these are the ratings, but they might well be. But probably not final, but they might well be. We've got some other chats. We've got Desron. Do you recommend pre-ordering, or should I give it time and then decide if to purchase? Take your time, man. Take your time. Have a look at it. It's your decision. We're not going to tell whether or not you need to pre-order it. So just have a look. If you think it's worth it, then go for it. But it's your decision. Go to edit. They ruined it for the old gen. They messed up with the old gen. So yeah, they talked about specific cutscenes not being available, so that people on old gen, that's Xbox One and PS4, they will not be able to have dynamic moments. It is only available on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC in both manager and player career. So that is absolutely confirmed. So yeah, they haven't put some features in for old gen Go edits, unfortunately. Frankie7 says Danilo playing centre back. I think he's played there before a couple of times.
I think he's played there most of the season, actually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I know he's midfielder, but I think he slots back into it, doesn't he?
With his age, he's getting on a bit now. He's lost his pace.
Yeah,
is it? Stick him in defence.
How old's Danilo?
Danilo Pereira. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's slow. I know he's slow, and that's why they just play him centre back
I
now.
thought he was young. He's
could be completely
31.
wrong.
He's 31.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's not old, but he's not young. I thought he was like 26. I'm going to be honest. I thought
he was like 33. So yeah,
there
33 is still 2 years young.
Yeah, and then Advent says live. Yes, we are. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's have a look at the poll. So earlier on, I asked everyone in the chat to vote on are you happy with the EAFC 24 career mode changes? What do you think, Lewis? How do you think it's swayed?
I reckon like 60-40 say no, personally.
Really?
Well, I'm happy
Really?
with it. I think it's good, but I don't know. I just feel like people sometimes they want more. They always want more.
Yeah. Well,
And I feel like there is more that can be done.
We've got 76 votes.
Okay.
It's a 57%, 43% split. So it's not quite Brexit. It's more than that. It's more than Brexit. Yes is 57%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Are you happy with the EFC 24 career mode changes? 57% said yes, 43% said no of 76 votes. It's close, but it looks like there's more positivity than negativity in the chat.
That's always a good sign. And then,
yeah,
I mean, it's good to see now. Let's wait till a week into the game and see if people say the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. Should we just play out the rest of it? Just final thoughts, Lewis. I know, as we said before, you were at the launch event in Amsterdam. You're able to speak to developers about this mode, see things that we've seen before, seen the people. We've seen them for the first time, but you've already seen them, had explained to you. What are your final thoughts after watching this deep dive on career mode in the AFC 24?
I've used the same word a lot of the time for most things we've seen so far, but promising. I think these are changes that were needed. It's a lot happening, I feel like, at once, but these things are all very prominent in the real life game, so it's about time they've been introduced in this game. I think manager career modes, maybe they could have been a little bit more. I'm happy with the player career mode changes with the agents we're introducing, and now you can choose your own player path. The whole point of player career mode is you're controlling a player, so why is it up to the game to decide where you go? So I'm glad that's been changed. And I like the new tactical vision system as well. So my only bashing would have been about the camera angles, but now we've seen that you can watch it from a touchline POV, which I think is great. So yeah, I'm happy with the changes. I'm looking forward to using it. I think I'll give career mode more of a go this year.
Absolutely, same. Why didn't they put that angle in the deep dive?
Again, I think it's just like, oh look, we got Jurgen Klopp on our game. Come play with us. But what we actually want to see as players is how can you watch the game? Is it blocked by a person the whole 90 minutes, or can you actually watch it from their POV? So I'm glad it's the latter.
We had so many comments of people going, "You can't even see the play. You can't even see the player." Like, surely they'd have thought that. But yeah. I know. But thank you so much, Lewis, for joining me today to react live to the EAFC 24 career mode changes. Thank you so much for your insight. You'll be able to catch up with our coverage on the Mirror Gaming website. That's mirror.co.uk/gaming for all the latest EAFC 24 news from Lewis, Barton, and myself. If you really appreciate everyone for stopping by to watch our reaction to the live stream. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching, everyone who's had a comment. If you liked what you saw, we're going to be doing a lot more EAFC 24 content moving forward, so make sure you get subscribed. We've got an interview with Diego Jota on the channel. Go and watch that if you're interested. There'll be a lot more stuff coming, a lot more live streams and stuff coming for EAFC 24 in the future. Make sure you get subscribed. But thank you so much everyone for joining us. We also have the Mirror Gaming walkthrough every Wednesday at 4 p.m. We'll be discussing the latest gaming news, so you can tune into that as well if you want to. We really appreciate if you come and check us out. But Lewis, thanks again for joining me.
Yep. Always a pleasure.
Career mode looks like it's getting some improvements. It's good.
Yeah. As a whole, the game looks like it's improving, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Ultimate Team and clubs does as well. From what we know so far, it's looking good. It's looking good.
Well, we'll see in September when it comes out, and you'll be reviewing the game for us. So let's see what you say in the review. But yeah, it looks pretty promising. Until then, we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.